Hey guys, today we have a very special episode all about one of the biggest and most loved music festivals in the world, Tomorrowland. My friend Jose will be joining me today to give us all of the ins and outs of this festival, as well as describing what the experience is actually like attending this event. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I am your host, Emma Kapotes. Thank you all so much for being here. Guys, we have such an exciting episode today. I am so hype. I just want to jump right into things. In honor of what would have been Tomorrowland week, I thought it would only be fitting that we have a fully dedicated episode to this festival. For those of you who don't know my background, I personally have never had the chance to attend this event. It is very high on my bucket list, something I definitely want to do in the future. So, like I mentioned earlier, I will be having my friend Jose on, who has gone to Tomorrowland the last 2 years. It's his favorite festival. Just wait till you see his energy when he talks about it. So he's going to be giving us a full guide to Tomorrowland. So whether you've attended it in the past or you haven't, we are going to be breaking everything down. But before I get into everything, just wanted to quickly say thank you to all my listeners, you guys. I have seriously been feeling the love lately, and it is incredible. Thank you all for spreading the word, for telling your friends about it. Screenshot this today, make it your stories, tag at raveculturecast and at Emma Kapotes. You can follow along with us on Instagram and Twitter at raveculturecast. And if you feel up to it, rate and review on iTunes, subscribe over on my YouTube channel, and do all of the things. You guys already know the drill. Lastly, we also have a Facebook group. It has been an incredible community. I'm so hype about it. We already have over 250 members, which is fucking amazing. I love it. So if you guys want to join the conversation, there will be a link down below. It is called Rave Culture Cast Community. Please join. The more the merrier. We will also be planning another family Zoom call at some point because that experience was the best. So go ahead and join that group. With all that being said, let's hop right into our Listener of the Week segment. You guys have been sending in a lot of shout outs, so thank you so much for the emails. You can always feel free to email raveculturecast@gmail.com with your nominations for Listener of the Week. So this one comes to us from Debs, aka @tiger_lily. And it says, "Hey Emma, first off, let me start by saying I've been a fan of yours since 2018 and I absolutely love your content. Thank you so much. You made my first festival experience smooth AF because I stumbled on your Preparing for EDC video series and it really helped me out. It was going to be my first EDC Las Vegas and my first EDM festival. I had no idea what to expect and you absolutely nailed this for me, which brings me to my nomination. I wanted to nominate my good friend Brent Paquette, I believe. He is a very close friend of my husband Frankie and he introduced us to the world of EDM back in 2018. I am forever grateful. As you know, EDC Las Vegas is an experience in itself, but before we went, he introduced us to his Rave fam, which was at least 10 to 15 people deep. We all got familiar with each other when we met up in Utah to go to Zion's National Park. I've been there, it's absolutely gorgeous. We hiked along the narrow river together and the vibe was so genuine. Everyone welcomed us with open arms and gave us so much love, it was unreal. From there, we made our way to EDC together and had the time of our lives. The experience was indescribable. From being taught how to trade candy to being offered gum constantly, LOL. The lights, the music, the whole vibe, chef's kiss, amazing. I learned so much and I'm extremely grateful for the introduction of new community where complete strangers make everyone feel comfortable in their own skin. With that being said, we are all still friends to this day and visit each other often. So here's to Brent for bringing us all together and creating this ultimate blended family, and to Stephanie, Pizza, Mike, V, Alex, Andrew, and Gabby, thank you for the experience of a lifetime. I can't wait to attend another festival with you guys when all of this COVID shit is over. I love you guys always and forever, Debs." Beautiful message. Thank you for writing in, Deb. Shout out to your Rave family. Welcome to the EDM community. So happy to have you guys here. And thank you so much for being our Listener of the Week. All right, real quick, you guys, I am still collecting submissions for this upcoming topic. I want to hear your craziest festival stories, you guys. This can be not suitable for work, I don't really care, but what is the craziest shit you've seen, done, heard about, whatever? It can have happened to you and your rave fam, you could have witnessed it at an event. I want to hear the craziest shit. So again, email in your stories to raveculturecast@gmail.com. These episodes are completely based off of whatever you guys write in, so it is so much fun hearing from you. It can be anonymous if you want it to be, but the more stories, the merrier, so go ahead and send those in. All right, I am just gonna get right into this. So quickly, a little bit about Jose Rodriguez, otherwise known as @DudeManBroHorse. We're not gonna get into his handle today. I'll let him explain that story on another time. But how do I know Jose? So I met Jose through the Lunchbox team. He is actually our customer service representative. So if any of you guys have ever DM'd the Lunchbox account or emailed it or something, you've probably spoken to Jose at some point. All around lovely person, fun loving, super into EDM. You guys will learn a little bit more about him today, but I really wanted to have him on in particular today because we've discussed Tomorrowland in the past, and obviously, like I mentioned, it's his absolute favorite festival, and he speaks so highly of it and loves it so deeply. So I was like, he's the perfect person to come on and talk about this today. So again, he's gone to the last 2 Tomorrowlands, and what I really wanted to do with this episode is I wanted to make it as helpful as possible. So I asked Jose questions about everything from purchasing tickets, you know, deciding what travel plans are the best for you, what the campground experience is like, to then the actual event, you know, what is it like, what are the stages like, what does the food cost. Like, I walk through the entire thing with him, and then of course he shares some of his favorite festival memories as well. So that is what you guys are going to be hearing in today's interview. Hopefully it'll give you a better understanding of what this festival is actually like, and let's hope we can all go next year and everything will be running smoothly, because I know a lot of you guys are missing it dearly. But this weekend they are having their digital festival, so if any of you guys purchase tickets to that, you'll have to let me know how that goes. So without further ado, again, let's welcome to the podcast Jose. Oh my god, well, I'm so pumped to have you here. Thank you so much for doing this.
For sure.
So we have a lot to cover today. I can't wait to talk to you about this topic because you've hinted at it and said a few things, so I know you're gonna get fired up about this. So that's what I'm like, bring all of the energy, bring all of the advice, because I think this is going to be a really helpful episode for like anyone who's ever been interested in attending or just like curious about like the ins and out of it, because it's just one of those festivals that like takes a lot of energy and time to plan. So whatever we can do to like help, you know, ease the process for people. And I'm also just like super curious. So I have a million questions for you too.
Totally. I can't wait.
Awesome.
I love this more than anything.
Yay. Okay, good. So to kick things off, just to do a quick intro so everybody can get to know you a little bit better, can you just do a quick intro to yourself, where you're from, what you do, and then like when you got involved in like the rave music festival scene?
Okay, so my name's Jose Rodriguez. I'm from Syracuse, New York, upstate, like the snowiest city in the United States, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I wear a few different hats. I work for the grocery chain Aldi's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a college and high school soccer coach, and I work for Lunchbox as well, which all of your listeners should know, hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, and geez, I've been raving since college. I don't know, 8 years, give or take. Did a bunch of shows all throughout college, and then one day decided to go to Izu. Only did one day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, this is dope. And then Zimmy was like, you know what, let's just full send. Let's just go to Ultra for our next one, all 3 days in Miami. And we're like, all right, cool.
Wow. Okay. And that sort of kickstarted everything for you?
Yeah.
Wow. So when you come to Izu, because I know you came this year as well, like, are you flying in? Are you driving in? Because I know you frequent the city a lot too for shows.
Yeah, we drive in.
Drive in, okay. Yeah, can you talk a little bit about your Rave fam, who I had the pleasure of meeting at IO this year? You have such an eclectic group. Like, how did you guys all come together, and like where'd you pick everybody up from?
Okay, so I'll try to summarize the best I can, because I have like 7 Rave fams, all over, but little by little as the years are passing, they're all some are starting to meet others at
Mm-hmm.
certain festivals and things like that. So
Yep.
the big one is the Tomorrowland fam. So we have like so many from Canada, France, Australia,
Wow.
all across the US. So we met at Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a Syracuse fam. Some of them I went to college with and
Mm-hmm.
friends of friends, and I don't know.
Picked him up from everywhere pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just by going and doing literally as many things as possible the last however many years, that
for sure.
it accumulates very fast.
I don't think I asked you yet too. Who are some of your favorite artists so people can get a feeling for what you are into?
Okay, so the all-time GOAT is Armin van Buuren,
Yep.
but not that the music he's making nowadays is bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a little more mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not hating on mainstream. I'm not that like, oh, I only like underground stuff.
Yep.
It's just I fell in love with the OG, very trancy
Mm-hmm.
Armin. So like as that faded out, he started to fade out a little bit.
Sure.
Though I still listen to all his newer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the current favorite is Above and Beyond.
Yeah.
They've always been number 2. So
Yep.
I mean, Seven Lions, Eric Prydz. You can list off all of Anjuna's
Trans
artists.
Am. Yeah.
Yeah, just any of them. But I like every genre. I will
Mm-hmm.
dubstep, like everywhere in between. I'll do it all. I like them
Yeah.
all.
That's awesome. It's so like interesting to see everybody's like taste and like such a good range of like people that come on this podcast. Cause I talk about house all the time and I'm like, I swear I'm not just going to have people on that only like house music. Like we'll definitely get a mix, and trance I feel like isn't talked about that much. And like, I have a special place in my heart for it. I don't think I listen to it the most on like a daily basis, but that's one of the beautiful things about these festivals is like I always will make a point to go to like the trance stage at EDC or like at Ultra, just to get like that fix in, because there's just something about it live that I just love.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, bring the
absolutely.
feels. All right, so I want to jump into some Tomorrowland questions here, and I sent you like a general outline, but I kind of wanted to break it into like the steps of planning for this. Just, obviously it's not going to happen this year. So did you already buy tickets to this year? Were you planning to go?
Yeah. Yep.
You were. Okay. So did you keep your tickets? That
Roll
was an
them
option,
over for
right?
sure.
Yeah. So literally the episode that came out today, I was talking to my friend Silvio. He did one of the solo global journey packages or something where you like toured different cities as a group. And he was saying, like it's going to be impossible to get a ticket next year because everyone's just going to carry their tickets over. But just for the future, or if somebody by any chance happens to get their hands on a ticket for next year, can you sort of like walk me through what passes you've done in the past and like what the ticket purchasing process was like for you?
Okay, so luckily, I think I did it in the perfect order, and it was on accident because we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So global journey is the way to go from the beginning. If you're unsure, because like you said, it takes a lot of planning and everything.
Right.
So ticket itself is called the Full Madness Pass, and they have a bunch of terms on there. So when you go to the website and you start reading what is Full Madness and all this other, it's kind of confusing. But once you familiarize yourself, you'll get it. So the Full Madness Pass is just the festival ticket alone, and it's somewhere in the range of like 350 to 400 euro, and that's what sells out in like a nanosecond.
Yeah.
So that's what people wait in line for and don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So the global journey is like built-in packages for you. So for example, what we did our first year, we did it from New York City. So you can pick your city anywhere across the US. Well, not anywhere, but like major cities.
Yeah. Okay.
And so ours from the city included the flight. They take care of the flight for you.
Wow.
I'll get into that for a second because that was great. But it includes that. And then the festival ticket itself, camping, and then I did 2 sets of camping, but we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the flight, everybody that flew to Tomorrowland from New York City was all on the same flight.
Oh, wow.
So that's already really cool.
Yeah.
So we showed up to JFK and get to gate 9, we'll call it, and we see that it's roped off and there's a silent disco happening. This
Stop.
is in JFK.
Oh my God.
And so you see the flight crew, they're all with the headphones on and dancing, and there's a DJ, and you're like, this has got to be us, because you're looking around. It's just like that's going to Charlotte, and it's like, so there's a silent disco. They're handing out free sunglasses and all this other stuff. And so you just sit there and rave for a little while, get to meet everyone before you board.
Wow.
So then everyone flies over, and then we get there, and we did what's called easy tent. So when we showed up, everything was set up for you, and you had a specific spot.
Okay.
With a Tomorrowland themed tent, they gave you a sleeping bag, 2 sleeping bags, an air mattress, a lock for your tent, like everything that you need.
Yeah.
So that's maybe what I recommend doing, because when you're flying in from all over the world, you don't want to haul all that kinds of equipment. So all of that was $2,200 US.
Okay.
So that's pretty expensive, especially compared to, everything else.
Right.
But we didn't have to worry about a single thing. So it was like the most convenient it could ever be.
Right.
So that was nice.
Where are you flying into for that too? That was like directly kind of to the festival?
So they fly you into, I think it's Antwerp, and then they put you on a bus to Boom.
Okay.
It's a short ride, but
God. Well, it's interesting because I kind of felt similarly with Electric Forest. Like when you look at the ticketing page, you're just like, this is so overwhelming. I don't even know what to pick. And then there's the intimidating factor of like, it sells out so fast. So am I even going to try to get a ticket? Like that's what I envision when I eventually have to do it. But knowing that there are these like other options, it makes it sound like you should just go for a package if you're coming from the United States.
Yeah, and the other benefit there is the Global Journey packages, wherever you get it from, go on sale a week prior to just the festival ticket alone.
Right.
So you have a whole week kind of to decide, like, yeah, this is what or to basically guarantee yourself away there.
Okay. So
that's what I recommend for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. What'd you do the second year?
So the second year, because at this point, so I went to Tomorrowland my first year, just me and Zim, just us two. Year 2, I think we were at like 12 or something.
Okay.
That's how many people we met from all over and just decided to camp together.
Yeah.
So one of the cheapest options that they offer is the bus package from Amsterdam. So that package includes bus transportation to and from Amsterdam.
Okay.
And then on the way, they stop halfway and they give you this like gorgeous buffet dinner. You're like kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's all set up and it looks like a wedding venue. And you get to meet a whole bunch of other people that are busing to and from.
Wow.
And so that's really cool. And that was with general camping included, not easy tent.
Okay.
I'll get to why we did that in a second, but that was about $850 US.
Okay.
So your flights aren't included in that, but you could get from New York City, you could get like $300 round trip tickets.
Yeah, then you're on your own to figure that out. Okay.
Right. So, but that really wasn't hard to do. So now you're looking at like 1,100. So that's 50% difference.
Yeah, like a VIP pass to Ultra if you want to if you really want to think about it. Like you get a better deal in general doing that. Okay. Good to know. Okay. And do you have a preference over weekend 1 or 2 where like it's irrelevant?
Okay, so as long as you can stay away from the internet, like spoilers are the only thing that you'd want to worry about. But besides that, no.
Yeah.
Although there was a scenario where one of the closed-in stages, Freedom Stage, like caved in.
Oh my God.
So it was second year. That's where Eric Prydz did his Holosphere world premiere, whatever that was. Mind-blowing. I still haven't processed it fully. But we got to see it weekend 1, and then weekend 2, the roof collapsed. And so like
they didn't
get to do it in that same venue. So
interesting. Okay. So there is like there is the benefit of going weekend 1. I heard rumors, I don't know how true this is, but people were saying like, oh, they might be thinking about doing 3 weekends next year, which I don't know how accurate that is, but that would be very interesting if they do that.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would try
I
to go at
mean,
least one more weekend.
yeah, and like who's to say when things will come back, but say like next summer is fair game. Like I think that should be an option for all festivals. Like EDC Las Vegas should jump on that too. Like you're putting all the time and money to build these incredible worlds for one weekend, like just extend it, leave it up for a couple of days. So I could see them doing that. And like I don't think Electric Forest would, because I think they were trying to preserve the environment it was in. But some of those other major festivals, I think they should go for extended weekends. Okay, so let's chat about camping, because this is one of the most interesting things for me. I was like just browsing on the site, like some of their extravagant camping experiences, which would literally never happen. But can you describe the difference between, you talked a little bit about easy camping, but the general camping and like what the whole atmosphere is like in the camping areas?
Okay, so basically think of it as like a long boardwalk with general camping all the way at one end, and
Mm-hmm.
then the festival itself is all the way at the other end. And so you walk along this boardwalk, and then your first right is going to be easy tent, which is upgraded. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go down a little further and it's the next upgrade, and then there's cabanas, and then there's all this other stuff.
Right.
And then it goes all the way up to like a mansion if you have more than 20 people or something, and it costs like $10,000 or something, but
Mm-hmm.
you can literally rent a mansion.
Oh my
But
God.
that's like offsite. You
Okay.
get transportation to and from and everything. But even if I had that kind of money just laying around,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to do anything offsite,
Okay.
because the party is at the festival and the campground.
Mhm. Right, right.
So something huge to note: general camping, or everybody can go to general camping, but
Mm-hmm.
not the other way around.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So my first year I did easy tent, right? That's the first upgrade. We could go to general camping where some of our other friends were. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't come to us.
Okay. Gotcha.
So second year, and because we had so many more people, second
Mhm.
year, and you get unlimited space in general camping too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
It's not just set up. So we showed up with our 12 people or whatever it was, and they
Right.
just kind of pull the rope back, and then you guys just set up however big you want, kind of,
Okay.
and then do your thing. So there's no like predetermined squares or like
Right, right, right.
whatever.
You can bring so did you bring like camping stuff, or did you rely on other people who like lived in Europe to bring that?
So I purchased a tent again,
Hmm.
because it's only like, if I remember correctly, an additional 50 euro maybe
Oh, okay.
onto your ticket, which you get. It's Tomorrowland themed, right? So it's very unique, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can take it home with you afterwards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the sleeping bag and all that stuff you can take home with you.
Cool.
I didn't either year because I was also traveling around Europe, so trying to lug that
Right.
around wasn't ideal.
Right, right. Okay, that makes sense. But that's
Yeah.
nice to have that option. So that's like you pick it up when you get there kind of thing.
Yep. It's kind of like a will call for a ticket sort of
Got
thing.
it. That's so cool. And then, okay, so I was watching people's vlogs, and we can talk about the food and all that inside the festival in a minute. But as far as the campgrounds, like it looked like there was a gym in the campgrounds. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, so that's in general camping too. There's literally an outdoor
Wow.
gym that's like better than most people's gyms at home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's actually way more people working out than you think.
Sure.
And there's like a little mini soccer field too. I can't remember if the goals were set up, but like, I don't know, you can run around there. There's like a little beach to hang out in. It's
Hmm.
literally incredible,
Right,
all,
right.
all the stuff that's in there.
And I don't think I asked you this too. So what's the time frame? Like how early can you get to the festival to like make use of all of this stuff?
So no, so that's just in camping.
Right, right. But like did you arrive on Tuesday, on Wednesday?
Oh, so you arrive. So we took the bus Thursday morning.
Okay.
Um, and then Thursday night is what's called the gathering.
Hmm.
So there's actually a stage inside of general camping that's
Okay.
not part of the festival.
Hmm.
So it's just its own stage, and there'll be surprise guests out of nowhere, like Afrojack just decided to start playing, and you're like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then so that's like your warm up or whatever. You meet people from around camping and that sort of thing. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is
In the
all
festival.
in the actual festival.
Cool. Okay. So, I mean, in like did you have much downtime or did you kind of feel like you were sleeping throughout the day, waking up and going to the festival pretty much every day?
It's like trying to go to bed on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just no
Not cabin.
chance.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
you wake up bright and early and it gets super hot. So just like an e-forest,
Mm-hmm.
like you can, unless you have some kind of shade,
Yeah.
uh, 8, 9 a.m. rolls around and you're like in a sauna inside your tent. So you're like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I feel you. And so what did you guys do for food? Like, were you able to cook stuff on your own or did you pretty much eat inside the festival?
Year one, since we did the easy tent stuff and didn't know anyone yet, we ate exclusively inside the festival.
Hmm.
And there's food and vendors right in the camping area as well.
Right. True. Yeah.
But then year two, we did general camping. And since we had friends like my friend B, who is from Paris,
Hmm.
and he's just taking the train in, he brought some stuff and like we were able to get canopies and stuff. So our setup was like way nicer than most people's.
Right. That's the benefit. Well, we'll talk about meeting people there because I was going to say that's the benefit of like the same thing as Electric Forest. If you have locals going who can bring the cooler and they can bring all of that stuff, and then the people flying in can sort of like take the lead from there. Or even if you have more like experienced people who have done Tomorrowland a bunch of times, and then you're sort of like the rookie coming in, I feel like that's best case scenario for you.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we're getting to exciting part. Okay, so you get there. We're gonna chat about the overall experience. You could feel free to like jump back and forth between both of your trips, but I want to chat about like the first time you were there and like what is it like first walking into the festival on day one?
Okay. I mean, I think I want to backtrack a little bit to
Yeah, go ahead.
getting off the flight. So
Mm-hmm.
you land in, or maybe it was Brussels or Antwerp, whatever airport it was. You have these like ferries. They're all dressed up Tomorrowland people. So it's
Oh
not
my
just like
God.
regular employees. They're all dressed up head to toe. Think of like the little ferries you see at Electric Forest and just
Yeah.
running around, that they're part of the experience. They're guiding you around the airport with giant totems that say, go this way, go this way.
That's so
And
cool.
then they give you a letter once you get there, like, welcome to Tomorrowland. And you're like, what in the heck is this?
Yeah.
And then they direct you to the buses, whatever. Then they give you goodie bags where you get an apple that's got the Tomorrowland logo printed on the apple. And it's like the attention to detail
Yeah.
is absurd.
Right.
Like there's nothing that compares.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, you finally get there. Getting into the festival for the first time is like just the most magical thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Um, you Something to note is the number of people. Well, it's like 400,000 over the course of 2 weekends.
Mm-hmm.
All those people are true fans of the music and the experience and things like that. If
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to travel that far and spend that much money to go do
Right.
that, you want to be there, as opposed to like ultra
Mm-hmm.
happens to be around spring break, so you're gonna get those kids that are just there to get fucked up and like
Yeah.
whatever.
Sure.
So to each their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've done it too, but like it's
Totally
just a
different experience.
completely, yeah.
Yeah.
You literally feel the vibe of everyone's so excited to be there. It's like the true meaning of being high on life. I
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Yep. I get that feeling from like watching people's vlogs too. Like, and we can talk about obviously like a European festival versus an American festival, but it just was so cool to see people like from all walks of life. And you can just tell there's like so many different countries being represented there. And like everybody wants to be involved and like everyone's so friendly and wants to come say hello. So like I was kind of getting that vibe already from just like watching people's vlogs on it.
Dude, big time.
Yeah. All right. So then the biggest question I have just from like watching it on like their live stream every year, like I understand there's like 16 stages or something like that, right? Do you know how
Yep.
many there are? 16?
Yep. 16.
Like obviously main stage is like the big theme reveal every year and it's just like so intricately designed based on like whatever theme they end up going with. But then you have all of these other stages and I feel like I don't even think I've seen all of them at any point because it's whatever the live stream decides to like show at the time. But what were your thoughts on some of the stages the 2 years that you went? Which
Like,
ones were, what was the theme? Like the Under the Sea? Were you at that one?
yeah, so that was my first one,
Okay.
Planaxis it was called.
Yep.
And I plan on getting
Oh
I
my God.
have the things right here.
Oh yeah. I was
The
gonna ask you, there's
seahorse.
boxes so crazy.
Yeah, so this is how the tickets come.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole story. Last year's was a book you could literally read.
Hmm.
But I plan on getting a version of that seahorse tattooed on me at some point because it meant
Wow.
that much to me. And that's going to
Yeah.
be my first tattoo
Oh
ever.
my God, I love
So,
it. That's awesome.
yeah, but so that was incredible. There's
Mhm.
water, it also shoots fire. There's these dancers that come out on giant poles that are
Right.
jellyfish and then just like swing around in the crowd, like this is cool.
Oh my God.
Um, but yeah, so they only record a few of the stages. So
Hmm.
that's why you don't get to see all of them. There's only
Right.
like, I don't know, 6 of them that have cameras and stuff set up for them.
Yeah, 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 gotcha. Yeah, the one that I always like, I really love the dragon stage, always looks so cool. And then there's the one that's indoors, which had all the lighting on the ceiling that like blows my mind every single time I see it. So like how is it like going to those different stages and which ones were your favorite?
So those two
Yeah.
are my other two, besides main stage,
Yeah.
those two are my favorite.
Okay.
There's something to say about indoor
Mhm.
stages just because it's enclosed, the atmosphere is just totally different.
Right.
The music sounds different and all that stuff, and it gets super hot and sweaty, so that adds to the vibe.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so that one's Freedom Stage. That's the one where the roof collapsed.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Rose Garden is the dragon that you're talking about,
Hmm.
Rosie.
Nice.
That thing is incredible because the head is just slowly moving all the time and gets close to the audience and
Wow.
opens its mouth and smoke comes out and you're just like, whoa. And
Yeah.
then the backside, there's a whole pond, small lake, whatever you want to call it, right behind it. And the tail goes in and out of the water throughout the whole thing. So you can see it
Wow.
everywhere.
That's so cool. Do you feel
Yeah.
like I know it's hard to compare, like even talk about it on this, but like do you feel like everything is spaced out pretty well? Like how are issues with sound bleed or does that like not exist? They do like they have enough space.
There's next to no sound bleed.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland is like its own city.
Mm-hmm.
It's so big,
Right.
and like perfectly placed everything, and you have to walk over bridges and stuff to
Mm.
get from place to place. So there's it's a you could have a whole adventure in between walking 2 stages.
Wow. Yeah. I can't even imagine it at nighttime. I haven't even thought about that. Like trying to even navigate that the first day. Like how the fuck did you ever get lost there? Or were you okay?
Yeah. s- I, well, I got lost leaving, but I'll save that as one of my
Oh, please.
most
Yeah.
memorable moments.
Okay, great. Um, yeah, well, I think somebody said one of like it could either be a pro or a con. Is they said like you underestimate how much you're going to be walking. Like the entire thing is like you walking around from stage to stage.
Yeah, it is. I think I averaged around 60,000 steps my first year.
Oh my God,
And I
yeah.
didn't even I didn't realize till afterwards, we didn't even go to every stage.
Hmm.
You just forget that 16 is kind of a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
See, this conversation is like bringing me so much joy and also pain because I'm like, this is what happened with me with EDC Las Vegas and why I went 5 years in a row. Like, I know I'll go to Tomorrowland. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to just do this festival for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's it. That's the first thing I said when I left. I was like, I'm coming back
Yeah,
every year for
right.
the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. I can't wait to like finally be there and experience it. We'll have to see how tickets go next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so my other question is about like inside. I'm curious too, because like a huge thing about Tomorrowland that they talk about is like how much detail they put into everything from like the food. Like they have restaurants I hear that you have to get like reservations to. Like how does that all work?
So that's something you sign up for beforehand. I did do it one time. We had like a little family birthday dinner because
Mm.
our rave mom, Amy, it's
Oh,
always her birthday right around the same time.
okay.
So that's like her birthday dinner. I believe we paid somewhere in the realm of 45 to 50 euro just for the dinner, but it was air conditioned. It's
Right.
like I don't, maybe kind of like tapas. It's like a 5-course thing,
Mhm.
smaller portions, Europeans.
Sure.
Um, but it's all cooked by like 5-star chefs and all this stuff, and you get drinks with it, and
Yeah,
it's the nicest dinner I've ever been to in my life.
really.
So
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from them. I'm curious. I don't think I asked you this too. How late does this festival go? Because I would assume since it's Europe, they have longer hours.
no, I think it's 12 to 12,
Oh,
12
wow.
to
Okay.
11, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I thought it would go to like 2 or 3 a.m. for some reason.
No, well, everyone else does.
Uh,
So you leave, and then everyone just goes back to general camping. And
mm,
then at night, it's just a flood because that's the only place that everyone can congregate. So
mhm.
everyone goes back there for the after hours. And like, there's millions of people that just don't sleep either.
Jeez. Do they
Just go
have like
20.
actual things after hours, or is it more like RV camp at Forest where like you can set up if you want to do like a set or anything like that?
Yeah, it's just like that. You just start walking around and see who's up. And some people have like DJ decks out of nowhere.
Hmm.
We call those the secret set or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
just got to make your way and you'll find something.
Awesome. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know why I thought it would go later, but I mean, it's one of those things that this is one of my questions I had for you later, but because it's such a big festival, like I feel like you're never going to be able to do everything there. So, yeah, like how do you even schedule time for breaks, or did you feel like it was go, go, go the whole time?
No, I don't know. Since you're there for 4 days, like
Hmm.
4 full days, and anyone that's been to a 3-day versus a 4-day festival knows that that extra day is like
Hmm.
awesome to have,
Yeah.
but makes it feel like there's a lot more time to do everything.
Hmm.
And since you're up so early, everyone's just kind of casually hanging out for a few hours. You can't go in till 12. But even if you do choose to go in, if you go in early before 5, you can't leave until 5.
Oh,
So if I
interesting.
enter at noon, I can't leave at 1, go back to my campsite and come back.
Interesting. Okay.
That is the only shitty thing about Tomorrowland.
Hmm.
Because one day we didn't know that, and we're like, okay, I didn't even change for the day. I don't have all my stuff, my candy or whatever. So now I got to sit here for 4 more hours before I can go back, get it, and then come back again.
Okay. It's good that you had one negative thing because otherwise people are going to be like, Tomorrowland paid this guy to say all this stuff to sell tickets. But
Mm.
that's fair because I feel like that way with some festivals. I always try, like with EDC again, like I always try to get there as early as possible because that is literally the only time you're going to actually do a lap and like check things out. But then based on traffic, I never end up getting there that early. But that could be a good way, like even if you're a first timer, just to like maybe go in at 3 o'clock and spend 2 hours just walking around to figure your shit out.
Yeah. Another thing to note, it's incredible how short the lines are almost everywhere.
Interesting. Okay.
Except for maybe the vendors right early morning, like
Mhm.
9 a.m., because everyone's trying to get a coffee and a Red Bull or something like that. Then can get kind of long. But actually going into the festival and everything else, I've waited maybe 15 minutes at the most to get inside. When
Yeah.
you're ushering that many people in, it's absurd how efficient it is.
Wow. Yeah, we got to like US needs to take some notes on that.
Yeah.
Electric Zoo, sorry.
Oh my God, for real.
I should take some lessons. How was security though there in general? Like no problem.
Yeah, there's really not much of anything.
Yeah. That's what I would figure they would do. All right. So, okay, this is going to be the best part for you. I just want to, in general, get some of your favorite memories and like let you just talk about like the experience and yeah, any favorite standout moments for you in the last 2 years.
Well, so we'll go to the time I got lost. Uh, I was with my friend Janelle, and we left. I don't know, we were getting ushered out, and this was on the last day too.
Hmm.
So shame on us for not knowing the exit by then.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for some reason, it felt like they were ushering us out of a different exit. And so we kept walking. And as soon as you exited, you were supposed to get on the bus and they looped you back around to
Mhm.
camping. We just were in the zone talking about how great the day was and just kept going. And all of a sudden, we
God.
look back after like, I don't know, 35 minutes, 40 minutes of walking. We're like, where's everyone else? It is just us two. And mind you, my phone is probably at like I don't know, 3 or 4%.
Oh my
It
God.
is about to die. So I try to pull up Google Maps. My service isn't the best because I'm overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we ended up in the middle of Boom, just like walking around the city,
Oh my
and
God.
it's midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m., whatever it was.
Jeez.
Uh, so I have enough juice to get to Google Maps, and it brings us right to the edge of what was camping. Except when we got there, my phone died, and there's a massive ravine. And I'm like, we see camping, it's right there, but I can't cross that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we're like, okay. So we didn't get back till I think 3:30 in the morning. We ended up walking around the city for 3 hours before we found our way, because we're asking these people, hey, where's Tomorrowland? And they look at us like we're idiots. It's just like, it's that way. And we're
Yeah,
like, yeah, give me some specifics here. It's like, you can't miss it. It's that giant that
yeah,
way.
yeah. But
Um,
where's the actual entrance to get into it? Like,
yeah. So that sucked. That was
yeah,
probably one of the most memorable things.
sure.
Another one is the Avicii Tribute. That's Nicky Romero just goes on the mic during his set and
Mm-hmm.
says Avicii had sent him, or they were working on this song that wasn't fully finished yet, but he finished it and then played it for like the first time. And
Wow.
then all of a sudden, off in the distance, this is on main stage.
Mm-hmm.
So off in the distance in the grass, they just start pulling apart this enormous, like, I don't know, 100-person long flag with
Wow.
T on it, the Swedish flag. So that was really cool. So as that happened, my entire group started a group hug,
Aw.
but I was so into it, and like just I wanted to hear every word of the song, and was just
Yeah.
so there might be a picture of me, but I'm just sitting there like this. I completely missed the group hug, and they're right next to me. No one tapped me on
Aw.
the shoulder or anything. So
Yeah,
what the heck?
yeah.
But so that was interesting. Half of everyone was crying, and the whole audience. That was an energy, let me tell you.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I think it might have been on the live stream or like I've seen a clip of that happening.
Yeah,
Jeez. Any other memories?
yeah. There's a million, but I
Or
could go on
favorite
and on.
sets too. Like any favorite sets that stand out to you?
Eric Prydz, Holosphere. That was I FaceTimed several friends from home, like because I was so astonished. I'm like, you guys are seeing this too, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not just like tripping or something. This is
Something
the
like,
visuals, the
yeah.
craziest thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally so many. I could go
Yeah.
on forever.
Where's the I don't remember if it was a stream or a vlog, but it looked like there was one stage that was it was very small. Like it looked like it was a cave or something or like a tunnel that you had to go into.
The
Did you ever go
Rave
in there?
Cave.
Yes, that.
Yeah, so that's just something you find on the walk from the theater to whatever the other one's called. But it's just like a little bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and then a brick bridge, and then you just like walk down in. You can fit, maybe, to put it in perspective, maybe 30 people shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And then the DJ is just like tucked in the back. And so
So
there's hardly ever any room to go in there. I fought my way once just to get a quick video and then got out of there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like little Easter egg. It's pretty cool.
How do you feel about like obviously a lot of like the things that they publicize are like the main stage sets, of course, like when you have like Sebastian and Grosso and people like that up there. But when you were there, do you feel like you spent a lot of time at main stage or were you exploring some like the other stages and smaller acts? They're none of them are really
Um,
small actually when you think about it, but
I think we did a pretty good job both years, going all over the place,
mm-hmm.
because a bunch of us like techno a lot, and really the best place to do that is inside. So
Mm-hmm.
that Freedom Stage, or the big tent, what was that called? Atmosphere. So think of like a completely enclosed tent from EDC Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
just techno tent. The vibes,
Oh,
filthy.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But we did a pretty good job. And then, but since main stage is so huge and it has such a big grass place to hang out,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people will just hang out there, even if they're not really listening to the music, just to
Right.
vibe out and lay down and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's so interesting. I'm gonna go look and see at like some of the other stages, or maybe just check out some of the pictures because they're the last one I was gonna ask you about. butcher this. I feel like a lot of the hard style sets I've seen are there. I don't know. It doesn't look like a bird cage, but it almost looks like you walk through like a big gazebo kind of thing, and it's near the lake. I forget. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
send you
that's right.
pictures.
That's right. That one sits like right behind main stage. And
Okay.
faces the other way. So again, no sound feed or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little beach right there too.
Interesting. Okay. And okay, so one of the main questions I had, because I feel like it's good just to get like a comparison. Um, have you done any other European festivals besides this one, or
Nope.
this the main one? Okay. So
Yep.
how did you feel? I feel like a lot of people ask about the crowd and like what it's like versus an American crowd. So can you speak to that a little bit?
There's no, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's no like belligerent idiots or anything. There's like one or two.
Okay.
Actually, okay, so here's another memorable moment.
Uh,
It might have been like Elon Bluestone and the Garden of Madness,
mhm.
but there's like the little front rail, right? This dude just decides to like hop over the little front rail and drops his pants and just starts taking a shit right there.
Oh my
And we're
God.
like, it is broad daylight, dude. It might be
Yeah.
5:30. And then so he was like belligerent. And then the
Wow.
cops came over and he pulls his pants up and they're pointing at it. And they're like, "What the hell, man?" He goes, "It's not mine." Everyone in the crowd is no longer paying attention to the stage and is looking
They're
at
just
that
watching this
like,
guy. Yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it's not his. We all saw it or didn't see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
See,
yeah,
that's the moment. But I mean, we don't have to get into that discussion. I'm sure like people can do whatever they want to do. Like
yeah,
safety
but
first,
there's
but whatever. Yeah.
yeah, everyone's pretty chill. Because remember, Europeans have been drinking forever, so like
Mhm.
that's not a
True.
big deal.
Yeah.
And then everyone speaks English. So anybody that worries about any kind of, because there's over 180 countries represented or something.
Hmm.
Remember, 95% of all EDM lyrics are all in English and stuff. So
Right.
everyone speaks English.
Sure.
No worries there at all.
Okay. Good. But it's also, I don't know. It's just me, but I like love hearing other languages. Like, I feel like I would be so intrigued by that. It's like, that would be like one of the highest points for me because it would just be so cool to meet people from like, I'm sure the Australian crew like comes hard for Tomorrowland. I love my Aussies. Like, I would just be so excited to see people from like all over the world there.
Oh yeah. That's yeah, you'll definitely hear it.
Yeah.
They'll just be chirping away and then you ask them something and they're like, "Oh yeah, just take a left and go there." And then they go back to their language and you're like, "Wow, cool."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. In general though, like do you feel like the crowd skews older and what is the attire like there as compared to American festivals?
In the US, we dress up way more than they do.
Right.
They'll like
People need to know this because I would probably dress up like a little bit, but I don't think I would go like full rave outfit.
so that's what I was worried about myself because I like to get done up with all the candy and everything
Yeah.
too. And I was like, I'm a little shy. I don't want to go overboard and have
Right.
everyone be staring at me. You'll still find plenty of people that dress up that way, like go to the max.
Hmm.
Anybody that doesn't dress that way, there's no dirty looks or anything. No,
That's
nobody's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" or "What are you wearing?"
yeah.
Everything's as nice as a forest vibe as you can get.
Hmm.
No one really knows about candy. So
Okay.
I brought my entire carry-on, it's a huge bag, was just candy. I got stopped
Wow.
at the airport every time because they're like, "What's in here?" I'm like, "It's just beads."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What a waste of my time."
Yeah.
But getting to sit down and show everybody that kind of stuff was
Mhm.
super cool. They loved it and everybody wanted a bracelet. So anybody, no need to fear. Bring your candy, bring your
Mhm.
personality 100%. Like people
Right.
will love it.
That's awesome. And do you feel like I think that is a huge part of like the European culture? Like something about it to me like seems a little bit more mature, but also you're gonna have like a huge population of people from Europe there. So I feel like and it's really expensive. So I feel like that might skew that it's like a little bit older than like an ultra or like a sunset music festival where you're gonna have like college kids who are there at a party pretty much.
Yeah, no, I mean, all the college age kids that
Mhm.
are there, you got to remember they're going to pay that much money, travel that far, and are that committed. They're not just spring breakers.
Right.
But then because they're Europeans, you will also see grandma and grandpa there. Like I danced with these two old ladies that might have been 80 years old, just rocking away right next to the speaker. And you're like, wow, like that's what I want to be like when I get that old.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Literally to me as an old lady. Oh, I
All
love
ages.
that. Yeah, I could imagine families. I was gonna say kids can go, or maybe
No,
like
I don't think
18
so.
plus or something
I
like
think
that.
it's like 18 and over.
Okay, interesting. Oh, and then I had this written down too. Do people have like hydration packs, or is that not a thing?
No, no one has them. You like, granted, there might be 5,000 or something, but remember there's 400,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 1%.
Like you're American.
Yeah. No one really has them. But again, no one really says anything. And there's a ton of places to fill up your water. So it's not
Is
like
it
they
free?
don't know about it or anything. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I feel
Fanny packs are huge.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, like whatever you're comfortable with, like do that. And like, again, like it's going to be extremely hot at the festival, so stay hydrated, but it's also more expensive if you're going to be buying drinks or doing anything like that. So I feel like to even get fucked up, you have to spend a shit ton of money to even like get to that point. I would just be eating all of the food and like probably drinking beer because the beer would probably be better there. And I don't even drink beer. So it would just be a great experience overall.
Yeah, honestly, everyone is probably drinking way more beer than they are water.
Mm-hmm.
Again, European culture.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than you think. That's a whole system in and of itself. They have their own currency.
Oh, wow.
Which is
Tomorrowland?
yeah.
Oh.
So it's called a pearl, and so a small. How much is a pearl? I don't even remember because we had to. In my head, I'm converting it to euro and then converting it to U.S. dollar. It was like a process. But a small beer is 2 pearl. Extra large beer is like 3.5.
Oh, wow.
And that might be, I don't know, like $3 or $4. It's really like not bad at all.
Right.
Regular prices that you go to downtown club or something.
Okay. So that's not too bad. I'm almost up on an hour here. This like literally flew by, but I think I'm almost out of questions for you. I just wanted to ask pretty much like any final thoughts on the experience or like, like any last tips or advice for anybody who's like thinking about going.
Okay. From the beginning, if you want to secure your ticket, the best chance is Global Journey. That could be a flight package from anywhere around the world. That could be a bus package. There's train packages. There's all that kinds of stuff. If you want to go solo and don't have people to go with, there's other options. They'll hook you up with other people. Sure. They have hotel accommodations if built into their stuff if you don't want to camp out, if you're not somebody that likes to rough it, so to speak.
Sure.
Bring your own pillow. Even with the easy tent thing that unless you get one of the higher end cabanas and things like that, then they give you a pillow. But general camping and easy tent, they don't give you a pillow. So that's somebody that I met on the plane. They're like, hey, they give you a sleeping bag, they give you an air mattress, they give you a lock for your tent. They don't give you a pillow. So save the one from the plane ride.
Okay.
So that was clutch.
Nice.
Bring some sort of reusable water bottle. Because you can buy waters, and that's I think what I spent
the most money on.
So much money, absurd. Because they don't give you the bottle caps.
Okay.
They throw them away as soon as you buy it.
Yeah.
So we tried to save some. We tried to bring some with us, but unless you know exactly what they have, different water bottles over there.
For sure. Yeah.
Not quite. They don't fit the same as the ones over here.
Okay.
So bring that because there's tons of water stations. Showers is something I get asked about a lot. There's outdoor showers and private showers. Private showers you have to pay for, but that's like hot water. The outdoor showers are just like this big flower that comes out of the ground and just like a daisy that just shoots water out. And you're just like, I don't know, it's super cool.
Yeah.
And no one's really shy about anything.
I would imagine.
Yeah, people are just like basically naked, just rubbing themselves down wherever.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot. Like, this is going to be super helpful to people. And this, honestly, like, these are just the memories that will hold us over for another year, because this is like all we can do. Like, it's like, oh, I want to go now. And it'll just, like, that's what I keep thinking about everything, like Electric Forest too. Like, good things come to those who wait, and we're just going to enjoy these experiences even more so when we actually get to do them. So this is just like such a great starting point for anybody who's ever been like interested or wondered. So thank you so much for sharing all of your advice with us.
Of course.
Yeah, I know this like flew by. I was like, I'm going to talk for an hour about Tomorrowland, I know, but there's so much to cover. Like, with such a big festival, you kind of like have to go through everything. But before I let you go, like, what's next for you? What are you most excited about coming up? Drive and Rave.
Yeah, well, the Drive and Rave this weekend. So that'll be super cool. Can't wait to see what it's like. But besides that, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Quarantine's got us doing whatever.
Plug your social media handle so people can find you.
Okay, Instagram is at dudemanbrohorse. It's actually a really short story, but
another day.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. So
okay. I'll pop it up here so everybody can find you. Thank you again so much for doing this. Jose's gonna hang out here for a second, but I'll be back in a minute with EDM news, you guys. All right, fam, we're back. That was so much fun. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like, I could genuinely talk about music festivals forever. I know for some people, even for myself, like, it's hard to talk about these things right now because you miss them so much, or we're not sure when they're gonna come back, but I love talking about festivals and hearing about memories, and this one is just like such a big deal in particular. So now I feel more educated, and I think I understand the experience a little bit more, and the ticket purchasing process, and how the campgrounds work. So I do hope you guys found this helpful. Thank you again to Jose for coming on again. Guys, go give him a follow at dudemanbrohorse and say hello. If you ever see him out at a show, I'm sure he would be more than happy to run over and give you a hug or a high five, whatever is socially acceptable at that point. But anyway, I hope whoever is watching the Tomorrowland live stream this weekend enjoys that. And again, until I have the opportunity to go, I will just be living vicariously through everybody's after movies on YouTube. So that's where you'll find me after this. But anyway, you guys, let's jump right into some EDM news. I have a few things to cover here, and then we'll do our songs of the week and wrap this thing up. So the first thing I want to talk about, Coachella launched GV Black. It is a new team committed to supporting the Black community at the Signature Music Festival. So I'm just going to read you this article from Your EDM because I thought this was really cool. So they shared in a statement, we commit to continue to bring awareness of the violence against Black bodies in America. The Black employees at Golden Voice have formed GV Black, a team to help us create initiatives to highlight the Black experience at our organization and expand representation of the Black community at Coachella. The statement continues, we are only at the beginning, and we acknowledge that we must do better and hold ourselves accountable. We are ready for our continued learning, community building, and our undoing and doing, all with your support. So anyway, I think that was really cool that they're doing that. Hopefully there's more representation at the company, and it sounds like this is a really great initiative that they're kicking off. Yeah, and then this article goes on to say, obviously we don't have Coachella happening in 2020, but hopefully this is some changes that we'll see at their events in the future, including Stagecoach as well. So in other news, I wanted to quickly talk about no parking on the dance floor. If any of you guys were interested in going that, the one in Houston, tier 1 tickets were sold out, but tier 2 at this point were still available. And that is a drive and rave hosted by Disco Donnie Presents. The artists on this lineup are Subtronics, Hesh, Level Up, and Ghost Data. So any bass heads, this is a big one for you. And it's on Saturday, August 1st. So go check out the tickets. One thing I quickly wanted to say, I don't want to sound preachy, I know you all get it, but there were a lot of like photos and things like that floating from some drive-in raves in the past where people were for sure not social distancing. People were taking pictures together. They were clearly walking around without masks on. So I just have to remind everybody the point of these events is to practice social distancing so that we can flatten the curve here and do a better job of controlling this virus so that there are less deaths, like so that it's spread less frequently. Like it's not that hard of a concept to grab. So wear your effing mask. Be responsible. If you're gonna go to these events, don't walk around like crazy. Like stay at your car, do what you're supposed to do so we don't ruin it for everybody. But yeah, it just was a little frustrating to see some pictures coming out of past drive-in raves. So just wear your friggin' mask, people. In other news, we have another event announced from Brownies and Lemonade, which sounds so exciting. It is a festival, a virtual festival that is completely focused on rising artists and up-and-coming talent. So you guys can go to their Instagram and check it out. I believe they were going to be accepting different sets and things like that. So I was tagging some artists in the comments to suggest to them. And I think it was on their Twitter as well. So anyway, that's going to be really cool. I can't wait to discover some new music through that event. I also wanted to mention a tweet that I thought was very interesting. I wanted to open the conversation about this. So Mode Step had tweeted on July 5th. He said, "I'll be the one to say it because for some reason artists have to put up some false idea that we're all balling in life. Corona has financially ruined most of your favorite artists and there is a chance a significant amount of us will not be able to do this anymore afterwards." And you had some other DJs chiming in. Dubloads said, "Thank you. I've quite honestly become irate at this point with these big artists giving their fans false hope and toxic positivity. People have no idea what's really going on and it's sad." And then Mode Step replied, "We're all supposed to look like superstars all the time. I've seen this pressure on so many of my friends while they struggle to pay rent. The future isn't looking so bright for the industry right now and it's the last thing anyone is going to stand and fight for. It's scary times." Which again, like you guys know, I always try to find the silver lining in situations and always try to find the positive. But if we don't know how long events are going to return for, whether local or larger scale events, some of your favorite small artists are definitely financially struggling right now. And like you typically think of like the big mainstream artists who are probably going to be fine. They were making crazy amounts of money anyway, but think of some of your favorite smaller artists. Without shows, they're really only making money from streaming or from like releases that they put out. And they have teams that work with them who also depend on them to be successful, to make their rent. So a lot of them are on unemployment as well. So you really have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And I feel tremendously for all of these artists who depended on this for a living, because I would hate to see some people not come back from this. So I wanted to bring this up to say, support your favorite artists, buy their merch, stream their music, follow them on social media, share links to their music. Like all of that really, really helps small creators more than you know. So just, I wanted to say that, like, reach out to people and be, a positive light in these people's lives. And the last thing I had for taking a turn, guys, sorry, taking a lighter turn. Alesso tweeted that somebody told him that he looks like the male version of Sandra Bullock, and now I can't unsee that. So I just wanted to share that because I was cracking up laughing. Like, I literally can't unsee that. Alesso is the male version of Sandra Bullock. Can we not all agree on that? So that's all I have for now. Hitting you guys with the hard news here. Clearly I'm a journalist and I take my job seriously, so there's that. Okay guys, last up, songs of the week. We have some really, really incredible tracks this week. So if some of you guys aren't aware, every Friday I have a playlist called New Music Friday on my Spotify. It's updated with the latest and greatest tracks in EDM. I put my top picks in there and cycle through them every week, so you guys always get the newest, freshest tracks. You heard? So definitely go follow that playlist. Some of the things I've been listening to. Okay, 2 new songs and 1 old song that's made its way back around. First up, and I can't say this loud enough, Lane 8's new song, Run. Oh my Lanta, you guys. I cannot stop listening to the song. It was in his summer mixtape that he dropped, which has been my latest set that I've been listening to every single time that I work out. It's a 4-hour set. He does these for every season, And Run was in the set about 2 hours and 3 minutes in, and I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And I kept rewinding to that same spot, and then he finally dropped it as a single. It's called Run. It's beautiful. I love everything about the song. If you guys love Lane 8's deep house vibes, you'll like this one. It's a little bit more up-tempo. It's got a little bit more bounce to it, but I really, really love it. And we also have a brand new song from Above and Beyond. I love Above and Beyond and Juna Fam. It was really great to see them drop a new track. It's called Jam. Really fun, high energy track. You guys are gonna love it. I cannot wait to hear that one live at some point. So definitely go show them some love and check that one out. And last up, this one's been in my circulation a lot lately. I heard it on a Love Island episode because honestly, the Love Island UK, their soundtracks are fire. They play so much EDM, it's amazing. They played the Begging for Thread remix by Griffin and Hotel Garuda, which was one of the songs that like I was obsessed with years ago when I was first getting into Griffin. Like he always used to do remixes and I would listen to them on SoundCloud, and that's how I became obsessed with him and familiar with him as an artist. And his remix of Begging for Thread, 10 out of 10 banger. Like I love it. It's a perfect summer song. It's a little bit chill, but you can still dance to it. Incredible remix. So definitely check that one out. And I think that's it, fam. We made it till the end here. Thank you all for checking out this episode. I really appreciate you being here. Again, if you could rate and review on iTunes, that would be a huge help. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at raveculturecast and at Emma Kapotes. And most importantly, screenshot and share this today. Tag us in it. Tell a friend. And go ahead and join the Facebook group. Come join the family, guys. I would love to have you. And lastly, send in your submissions for your craziest festival stories. I cannot wait to read those. Those are going to be amazing. Anyway, I hope you all are staying happy and healthy. Hang in there. Enjoy the live streams this weekend. Thank you again to Jose for coming on this week. And I will catch you guys next Wednesday with a new episode. Bye, guys.